fucking hell. Okay. So, yeah. I'm just gonna tell you guys straight up, once again, this is going to be another raw, uncut, just no script whatsoever type review because, oh my god. Yeah, so as you couldn't tell from the title, this is My Hero Academia chapter 290, and holy fuck, like, okay, so obviously the big thing to talk about in this chapter is that we finally get we basically get the reveal that we've known for quite a while, which is that Dabi is basically Toya Todoroki. But the way in which it's revealed is just one of those things where it truly it truly shows that basically Toya is basically that Toya is the culmination of every single collective sin that Endeavour has ever made in his life. Like every single problem that basically that Endeavour has caused for his family, they are all representative within Toya right now. Everything he's done, every terrible thing he's done, all of his collective sins are coming back to haunt him right now with pretty much Dabi Toya. And like when it's one of those things where it really isn't that pretty much far off to say that pretty much that Dabi is a villain of Endeavor's own making. He's the one responsible for creating Dabi and making Toya into Dabi. Like everything that is everything he did wrong as a father, as a parent, is all representative of basically of who Dabi is right now. Endeavour is the one who basically who made Toya into Dabi and the villain he is now. Like it's one of those true representations of how it's one of those times where you can really say we're the ones who basically create our own monsters. And Endeavour by pretty much his own blinded desire in order to create a powerful hero that can basically that can pass All Might. This Dabi is the culmination of that. That he's the one he's the one who was created in that selfish desire. Like it's really insane to think that everything that all of his all that for that don't get me wrong, for everything that Endeavour is trying to do right and everything he's trying to correct now, his past actions and just overall his whole and his blinded desire in order to be better than All Might, it's all coming back to haunt him with basically Toya, with Toya's return as Dabi now. Like it's and just seeing the utter shock and despair on the collective shock and despair on both Shoto and Endeavor's faces. They're just in utter and complete. They're just completely like flabbergasted. They don't know what to. They're completely lost as to what to do with this information. They don't know. And with and you obviously with I think one thing we can definitely say actually with Shoto is that in like even though he's completely utter shock, confused, and just downright he doesn't know what to think. I think you can also kind of really kind of tell just within just within in Shoto's expression as to what he himself is thinking, because he in the past he not only came face to face with his own brother, but at the same time in basically coming in learning this new information, in some way you can say that pretty much Shoto is coming to realize that Toya and that Toya like what Toya's become in the form of Dabi is basically what he could have become had pretty much Izuku not pretty much come along and saved him from himself. Like if basically Shoto had continued on the path he was that he was on in the sports festival arc, then he would have become exactly like his brother. Like he would have become rage consumed and a desire in order to destroy the entire world. But thankfully because of Izuku, he ended up being pretty much saved from himself. He ended up going down a completely different path than what and not becoming like his brother. So yeah, if anything, honestly, right now, I'm honestly right now with knowing specifically the different paths that both Toya and Shoto have taken now. I'm interested in the whole dynamics going forward of both Endeavor. I'm interested in the whole dynamics of Endeavor, Dabi, and Shoto altogether. But right now, the one thing I am most intrigued by is the dynamic going forward between Dabi and Shoto, because like I said, they're basically two brothers who have both experienced the cruelty of their father in his attempt in order to become in his cruel desires and ambitions, but one ended up going down a completely different path than the other. So it's like I'm really interested in to see how the ideological clash of these two brothers goes down. And yeah, it's like I'm as you can probably tell, like I said, this is another completely unscripted review, and like just the whole dynamics right now have fucking changed. Like there is absolutely nothing. There's the whole dynamics right now, but have changed. And one thing that and honestly, weirdly enough, one thing that really got to me in this chapter is that beginning panel where you pretty much see where you pretty much see like the pretty much TV turn on to like to pretty much Toya just kind of sitting on a couch where you see the TV in the hospital room of basically Shoto's mother, and you see the TV turn on to pretty much show pretty much Toya sitting on a couch with his arms clasped or whatnot, and almost immediately clicked in, just like us. Like the moment you saw the face of Shoto's mother, you knew, she pretty much knew who that person was. She pretty much knew that Dabi was Toya, and like it's the whole dynamics of the Todoroki family have just fucking changed beyond this point, and it'll be fascinating to see where exactly things go from here, because I've got like especially Endeavor 2, because up to this point you can tell you can tell that when it comes to Endeavor, he's been trying to make strides in order to in order to be better, but with Dabi's with Toya coming back, it's like the picture, you can tell that all his collective sins are coming back to haunt him again. So I'm really curious as to where Endeavor is going to go from here, and just what path he's going to take, because you can just see he's facing his own demons right now. And now, one thing too, I can only assume it at this point. Now, one other thing I want to talk about is that now, obviously, with that whole broadcast that basically that Toya that basically Dabi was doing in the beginning of the chapter, obvious like you see him just kind of being shirtless and how he's and you see all his scars. And at this point, I'm almost kind of wondering if like well, like I said, obviously we know that pretty much Toya that Dabi is a create that Toya becoming Dabi is like again he's a he's a villain of Endeavor's own making. So it almost makes you I'm starting to think that all those scars he has they're in some way caused by pretty much Endeavor. Like that was at a point where Endeavor was even more ruthless than he was on Todoroki, I wonder. So yeah. But and yeah, aside from that, I think, but yeah, aside from that, the other thing too is that we pretty much see. I think that pretty much the whole thing with, I think the whole thing with I think the whole we can see there in the beginning of the chapter we also see. I think that that Shigaraki is retreating. So yeah, I think a lot of this chapter is starting to signal that the saga is going to start winding down too. So yeah, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for this review. Again, I'm sorry if this one seems a little rambly or something, guys. Like I said, this is another very unscripted review. I did. There were so many thoughts flooding through my brain. I just had to fucking let it all out. But yeah, just tell me what you guys think about this chapter. Again, the whole dynamics, the whole dynamics of the series, and especially within the Todoroki family, have just changed dramatically. And yeah, just tell me what you guys think. I really like to know what you think. I really like to know your thoughts on this reveal because again, it's one of those reveals we knew, but just the way it all came back in this single moment to haunt pretty much Shoto and Endeavor at once. It's just like it's amazing. So but yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Analyst, or Crunchyroll. Dad Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.